Science fiction is easily one of the most popular genres. Whether it be TV shows, films, books, or video games, sci-fi is a versatile genre that resonates with a huge audience. The sci-fi franchises in this list have proven themselves to epitomize the timeless nature of the genre, but despite reboots, remakes, and libraries of expanded media, these franchises have never quite made the leap to video games with the same level of resounding success. Despite having the potential to be huge, they've only dipped their toes into the world of video games. I'm Ben from Smash Jump, and this is my article of 5 sci-fi franchises that would make amazing video games. Okay, so it's an obvious one, and of course, the Doctor Who nerd is going to put this on their list. Its place on the list though isn't just the fan side wanting to see the long-running series in video game form. With a long history, including the Guinness World Record for the longest running sci-fi television series in the world, Doctor Who has an equally long and storied history with video games, with a total of 19 releases since 1983's Doctor Who The First Adventure on the BBC Micro to 2022's entirely generic, cut and paste mobile idle game Lost in Time. None have quite matched the wonder of the long-running show. Despite having plenty of opportunities over the last 40 years to get it right, Doctor Who games are for the most part terrible. The world of terrible Doctor Who games is an entertaining subject for another feature. So, the BBC is, perhaps understandably, notoriously picky when it comes to authorising licensed software for their sci-fi juggernauts. However, given the right developers and the right budget, there's an incredible amount of potential to be had in a show that's famously able to throw the rules out of the window. The Doctor Who themed levels in LEGO Dimensions proved just that. A big budget entry into video game space is what Doctor Who sorely needs, and personally I'd like to see a story heavy, single player, multi-Doctor experience seeing a modern and a classic Doctor come together across 2 time periods to solve timey-wimey puzzles and save the universe. Give me humour, clever twists and turns throughout, and plenty of ways to creatively and non-lethally take down or escape from enemies. Give me the ability to swap between time zones at will, and an emphasis on putting brains before brawn with a protagonist that iconically never carries a gun, yet canonically has a kill count well into the billions. Honestly, give me Doctor Who the edge of reality, but if it wasn't a VR walking simulator, and good. So, this is definitely a bit of a niche one. Thunderbirds is a classic British sci-fi series that has 2 short seasons in the mid-60s, a rebooted series that ran 3 seasons from 2015 to 2020, a 2004 Jonathan Frakes of Star Trek fame directed live-action movie, and Thunderbirds 2086, an English dub of the Japanese anime scientific rescue team Techno Boya that was loosely inspired by Thunderbirds and reused music and sound effects from Thunderbirds and from other shows from the same production company. Despite being short-lived, Thunderbirds was hugely popular and influential in the UK, in no short part due to its unique aesthetic. Using a form of electronic marionette puppetry called supermarionation and scale model work, Thunderbirds not only has a distinctive look that would translate well into video game graphics, but an exciting premise too. Thunderbirds revolves around the Tracy family, who run International Rescue, an independent international rescue organisation that uses super advanced technology to save lives from disasters all over the world. Real-world UN-registered search and rescue organisation International Rescue Corps was named for the show's organisation. In order to do this, the family uses vehicles known as Thunderbirds, 5 unique vehicles designed to be able to handle any disaster situation in any location across the globe. In the show, things often get hairy, with disasters often being exacerbated by criminal elements intent on disrupting the world's status or getting their hands on International Rescue's tech. It's a premise that I think would be an absolute blast to be at the helm of in a video game, tasking you with responding to active disasters around the world, having to research, build and choose the right equipment for the job to ensure you can save as many lives as possible. A Thunderbird strategy game in the vein of XCOM would be a lot of fun, as could something that puts you in the pilot seat of the Thunderbirds as you and a group of friends work together to rescue lives before it's too late. Battlestar Galactica is another iconic franchise that has only had middling success in the video game arena. Tactical RTS Battlestar Galactica Deadlock and Battlestar Galactica Online have both done alright for themselves, but there's still so much more that can be tapped into in the franchise. I'll be honest, I have really fond memories of the 2003 Xbox/PS2 Battlestar Galactica game. It was a middling starfighter game based on the 1978 series that followed a young William Adama in his career through the First Cylon War, and I for one would love to see a new space combat game in the same vein as 2020's ill-fated Star Wars Squadrons. Any new Battlestar Galactica game would likely be set in the Revival era due to that series' popularity far exceeding the 1978 cult classic, and while I'd love to see a new game in the iconic style of the original series, I'd settle for some skins. Battlestar Galactica is a franchise that has a lot going for it, as it explores what it means to be human as the last remnants of humanity limp across the stars to find their lost home. And while personally I'm eager to recreate my childhood excitement of being a Viper pilot, the Revival series introduced a lot of amazing concepts for the series that provide a plethora of different starting points for video game entry. There's potential here for large sweeping space-based romps as you try to avert the course of the Cylon Wars, or tense battles for survival as you lead your survivors through the Oregon Trail of space. Blade Runner is a franchise synonymous with sci-fi and is the primary source of inspiration for a large swath of video games that have come since the 1982 film adaptation of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Yet despite its heavy influence on the sci-fi genre and much of the sci-fi aesthetic that has come to be popular in dystopian and cyberpunk settings since, there have been only a small number of official Blade Runner video games. With the recent news that a new adaptation of the iconic franchise has been cancelled and a Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth still in development, there is at least some good news on the horizon. The world of Blade Runner is a deep and provocative one, with huge reservoirs of untapped potential for rich narrative titles in the same vein as many of the games that the film has gone on to inspire. Role-playing games similar to Cyberpunk 2077 or Disco Elysium are obvious choices for the franchise, with both of those games taking clear inspiration from the franchise. While any Blade Runner game is likely to follow the film's example and explore deeper philosophical meanings of what it is to be human as an eponymous Blade Runner hunts down replicants to retire, there's more to explore in the dystopian Blade Runner universe should developers dare to strike out and do something different. Superman is a character that has both had a lot of his own video games and has also featured in plenty of others too. While probably most fondly remembered some of the worst video games of all time, I think we're finally ready for a new Superman title. When discussing a Superman video game, it's often brought up that Superman would be difficult to build a game around. He's too powerful, too good and nice of a character, and I don't think that means we'll get a bad game if we got one now. Open world superhero games such as Sony's Spider-Man games and Prototype are standout examples of how this can work. Provide a sprawling metropolis with the same level of detail as Spider-Man's New York, for supes to fly around in, add a fluid combat system that allows you to mix up Superman's various abilities for creative ways of taking down Superman level foes, and side missions that see Superman helping other heroes or saving cats from trees, and I really think we've got a winner on our hands. The power levels of Superman also give ample opportunity to have some crazy cool fight scenes that give players exactly what they want, the power fantasy of being Superman. And there are plenty of foes in Superman's rogue gallery that can provide a challenge as the game's antagonist, while also being a story conceit for game mechanics like Superman taking damage in fights. Perhaps even include some levels as Clark Kent in order to uncover information and investigate leads to uncover the nefarious plot, and a solution that requires more than just a heavy beatdown from the Man of Steel. What's more, a Superman game has the potential to branch out into bigger things, with sequels bringing together video game versions of the Justice League to go bigger and more action-packed, or even teaming up with Superman's super best friend, Batman, for a video game adaptation of World's Finest. The Arkham series has shown that there's an appetite for DC games and superhero games in general, and it's hard to deny the appeal of the power fantasy. Superman as a concept and character for a video game is far more versatile than you might think, and a new video game entry for the Big Blue Boy Scout is long overdue. Do you think these franchises would make good games? Are there any better franchises out there that I've missed? Leave your video game pictures in the comments below or on our social media. Once again, I've been Ben for Smash Jump. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and join smashdump.com for even more content.